Welcome to CivilNet. Swiss Foreign Minister and serving Swiss President Didier Bulkharter sent a letter to the Canton of Geneva asking them not to construct a genocide memorial called Streetlights of Memory that was constructed by a French-Armenian artist, Melik Ohanyan. The memorial was then supposed to be erected in Ariana Park, which is near the United Nations in Geneva. This has caused a lot of controversy and a lot of news. Joining us from Geneva to talk about this controversy is Stefan Kristensen. He is from the Swiss Armenian community and he is the coordinator of the Monument Project. Christian, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Just for our viewers, if you will, talk to me about sort of the history, the backstory with this Armenian Genocide Memorial, because this is a project that was initiated in 2008, and now 6 years later, that memorial is still not placed anywhere in Geneva.
Yeah, it's been a very long and complex story. So it's a pleasure to be able to explain a little bit how it began. Yeah. It was actually an initiative that we took in the community, contacting the authorities of the city back in 2007. And in 2008, there was a text that was voted unanimously by the city council in Geneva, asking for the construction of a monument celebrating the common memory of Geneva and the Armenians. That is, it's not restricted only to the genocide, because there's a story reaching back to the 19th century about the presence of Armenians in Geneva, students. The Dashnak party had its western headquarters under Abdul Hamid from 1896 to 1908, for example. So there's a broad story that we wanted to celebrate in that project. And then it took a long time after that to put up the contest, because we had an international contest with 8-9 international artists, very renowned international artists. Then the work of Melik Ohanyan that you just spoke about was chosen by a jury in late 2010. That is exactly 4 years ago now. And it was supposed to be at one place near the Old Town. And then we encountered the opposition of a commission, an official commission committed to protecting the heritage, la Commission des Monuments et Sites, here in Geneva, which is very strict. They didn't want a contemporary art monument, contemporary artwork put in the medieval old town of Geneva.
So at that time, sorry, I'm just going to interrupt you for a minute. At that time, it wasn't necessarily about the concept of the message behind the memorial, but rather...
No, not at all.
Okay.
No. There was a lot of pressure by some Turkish persons,
right.
Already, but not on an official level, and our connections to the local politicians were very good at that time, are still very good. So no, that wasn't the problem. Then it took some time to look around in other parts of the city, because I don't know if someone has been to Geneva, you will very easily notice that it's a very dense city and that all the parks are filled with artworks everywhere. So it's not at all easy to find a suitable place for such a big project as the Melik Ohanyans. So, but then the choice was made last year, just 1.5 years ago, for this park, which actually belongs to the city. And then we spent some time reflecting on the necessity or not to make a request for the construction, an official, technical request. And this was then very formally asked for by the authorities. This is, for people that, well, the Swiss institutions can be quite complex, and this authorization is granted by the canton, the state. And so the canton asked for us to submit a request, what we then did last February, and the whole administrative aspect is okay, has been okay since April. and it's become political since then.
Right. Now, a lot of the media has been writing that this is outright pressure from Turkey, that they have intervened. Do you have any evidence of this or perceptions of this?
Well, the evidence is not on our hands, of course, but yeah,
but practice has shown that it's usually.
Well, we do have antennas here and there, and we do know that, of course, there is a lot of pressure from Ankara, and it is quite efficient, apparently, because they're able to put pressure on the United Nations, and the United Nations sector is very important in Geneva. And the local government doesn't want any trouble around that. So they have apparently found a weak point there.
Right, but Christian, I mean, it's the foreign minister, the serving Swiss president that's getting involved. Is that a sort of a regular practice that takes place?
It isn't at all. It isn't at all. He's not the one granting construction authorizations in the local administrations. This is a highly, this is really an extraordinary thing that is happening now. We can only make hypotheses. There are hypotheses around the G20 meeting in Istanbul in next, I don't know, April or June, and he's hoping to be invited there. He doesn't want to mess up his relation with Ankara. Okay, that's all his problem, but it's highly unusual to have this kind of top-down intervention in the Swiss
yeah, certainly. I mean, for us living in Armenia, and I'm sure for many people around the world, it was quite an extraordinary intervention.
It is.
We were reading that now there are plans to look for another location, perhaps Ariana Park was too close to the United Nations. So what's on your agenda now? How are you going to be moving forward?
We in the community and together with the city are very, very clear. There is no alternative to this place for many reasons, aesthetical, juridical reasons, and simply because now it's become a question of honor to us. If we bow to this. And accept to examine other places, it means that we will accept implicitly this negationist argumentation, and this is of course not acceptable, neither for us or for the whole Armenian world. So right now we are expecting at the beginning of next year to receive a refusal for this authorization, and we are going to apply against this. And to use the law institutions to be able to construct it, but we don't know how long this will take.
Christian, how has the media been reporting this story, the Swiss media?
Good. We have good connections with the local media. Good connections in Francophone Swiss TV, and also in, for example, a newspaper like Le Temps, which is supposed to be one of the leading papers here. So this is not really the problem.
Right. So I presume you're going to keep fighting and taking all legal sort of instruments to make sure that.
Exactly. Yeah. We've been working on this project for so long, so where it wasn't about building it at any cost for next year. We're going to keep on commemorating the genocide also in 16, 17 and the years ahead. So where we're just going to continue this struggle.
Right. I think that's an important message because we are heading toward the 100th anniversary, and sometimes we forget that life will keep going beyond April 24, 2015. So the struggle and for recognition and for memorials will continue. Christian, thank you.
It will, obviously, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us and for shedding light on what's been taking place. We'll be following it here at CivilNet as well. And hopefully you will be able to overcome these political, administrative difficulties that you're facing now.
Thank you.
And I'd like to remind our viewers that my guest was Stefan Kristensen. He is from the Swiss Armenian community and the coordinator of the Memorial project. Stay with CivilNet.